Welcome back, Rare Coin Insider. Imagine holding a small, seemingly ordinary coin in your hand. A 1-cent piece from the United States dated 1995. Something most people would barely notice. Something that might sit forgotten in a jar, dropped between couch cushions, or exchanged casually without a second thought. Yet hidden within this humble copper-colored disc lies a story that stretches across history, design evolution, economic shifts, and the fascinating world of rare coin collecting, where even the smallest denomination can become extraordinarily valuable, sometimes reaching unbelievable figures like $12 million under very specific and rare circumstances, turning what appears to be pocket change into a treasure that collectors dream about discovering. The 1995 1-cent coin, often referred to as a penny, carries the legacy of one of the most iconic designs in American currency, featuring the profile of Abraham Lincoln, a figure whose presence on the coin dates back to 1909, marking the first time a real historical person appeared on a circulating U.S. coin. And by 1995 this design had already become deeply ingrained in everyday American life. Yet, what many people do not realize is that even within such a common coin, subtle variations, minting errors, and specific conditions can dramatically alter its value, transforming it from something worth just 1 cent into something collectors might pay thousands, or in extremely rare cases, millions for. Physically, the 1995 penny weighs approximately 2.5 grams, composed primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating, a composition that was introduced in 1982 when the cost of copper rose significantly, making it too expensive to produce pennies using solid copper. And this shift in material is important because collectors often differentiate coins not only by year and design, but also by their metallic composition, which can influence durability, appearance, and long-term value, especially when considering rare minting anomalies that may occur during production. The diameter of the coin is about 19.05 millimeters, and its thickness is roughly 1.52 millimeters, giving it that familiar size and feel that billions of people recognize instantly. Yet within these standardized measurements lies the possibility of slight variations caused by minting errors, such as off-center strikes or double dies, which are among the most sought-after features in the coin collecting community, and these anomalies can significantly increase the coin's desirability and value. On the front, or obverse, of the 1995 penny, you will find the right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, accompanied by the inscriptions, "In God We Trust." Above his head, "Liberty," to the left, and the year, 1995, to the right, sometimes accompanied by a small mint mark indicating where the coin was produced, such as D for Denver or no mark for Philadelphia, and these mint marks play a crucial role in determining rarity, as certain mints may produce fewer coins or have unique error patterns that collectors actively seek. The reverse side of the coin, used until 2008, features the Lincoln Memorial, a detailed architectural design that includes a tiny depiction of Lincoln's statue inside the memorial itself, a remarkable level of detail for such a small coin, and the inscriptions, "United States of America," along the top, "E pluribus unum," above the memorial, and 1 cent, boldly displayed at the bottom, reinforcing the coin's denomination while also symbolizing its place within the broader economic system. What makes the 1995 penny particularly interesting is not its general circulation version, which was produced in massive quantities numbering in the billions, but rather the rare varieties that emerged due to minting errors, especially the famous 1995 double die obverse, a type of error where the coin's design appears slightly doubled due to a misalignment during the die creation process. And this doubling is most noticeable in the lettering, particularly in "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," making it a key identifier for collectors searching for valuable specimens. These double die coins are not just minor imperfections. They are highly prized because they represent a unique moment in the minting process where something went slightly wrong, creating a limited number of coins that stand out from the rest. And because of this rarity, such coins can fetch significantly higher prices in the market, sometimes reaching hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on their condition, grading, and visibility of the error. Condition plays a massive role in determining the value of any coin, including the 1995 penny, as coins are graded on a scale that ranges from heavily worn to perfect mint state, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that show minimal wear, sharp details, and original luster, especially when combined with rare features like errors or low mintage figures, which together can elevate a coin's status from common to highly collectible. But the idea of a 1995 penny being worth $12 million may sound unbelievable, and in most cases, it would indeed be unrealistic for a standard coin. However, in the world of numismatics, extreme values are sometimes associated with coins that possess extraordinary combinations of rarity, historical significance, minting anomalies, and pristine condition. And while no widely documented sale of a 1995 penny has reached that exact figure, the concept reflects the potential that exists when a coin meets all the criteria that collectors and investors consider invaluable, including uniqueness, demand, and story. Collectors often spend years searching through rolls of pennies, examining each coin carefully under magnification, hoping to discover that one rare piece that stands out from the billions produced. And the thrill of this hunt is part of what makes coin collecting such a fascinating and enduring hobby, where knowledge, patience, and attention to detail can turn an ordinary moment into a life-changing discovery. As we dive deeper into the story of the 1995 1-cent coin, exploring its history, production details, rare variations, and the factors that can influence its value in today's market, it becomes clear that this small coin is far more than just a unit of currency. It is a piece of history, a work of art, and for some, a hidden treasure waiting to be found. As the story of the 1995 1-cent coin continues to unfold, it becomes even more fascinating when you look beyond the surface and step into the intricate world of minting processes, where precision meets human error, and where even the smallest deviation can create something extraordinarily rare, something that collectors spend years searching for. And it is within this delicate balance between perfection and imperfection that the true potential value of this coin begins to emerge. In 1995, the United States Mint produced billions of pennies across its primary facilities, including Philadelphia and Denver, and each of these mints followed strict production standards designed to ensure uniformity. Yet despite advanced machinery and quality control, certain errors managed to slip through, and these errors are not just flaws, they are unique signatures of a moment in time, making each affected coin a one-of-a-kind artifact that carries a story unlike any other. One of the most talked about varieties from this year is the double die obverse, a phenomenon that occurs during the die creation stage rather than the actual striking of the coin, meaning the error is embedded into the die itself and then transferred onto every coin struck from that die, resulting in multiple coins with the same doubling effect, yet still rare enough to be highly collectible, especially when the doubling is strong and clearly visible to the naked eye. When examining such a coin, collectors often focus on specific areas where the doubling is most pronounced, such as the letters in Liberty and the phrase, "In God We Trust," where you may notice a shadow-like duplication that gives the text a slightly blurred or doubled appearance. And this is not to be confused with machine doubling, which is far less valuable and occurs during the striking process rather than the die creation stage, making it crucial for collectors to understand the difference between the two. Beyond doubled dies, there are other types of errors that can significantly increase the value of a 1995 penny, including off-center strikes where the coin design is not perfectly aligned with the blank planchet, resulting in a portion of the design being missing or shifted, clipped planchets where part of the coin is physically missing due to a defect in the metal sheet, and even rare cases of wrong planchet errors, where a penny design is struck onto a blank intended for a different denomination, creating a truly unique and highly valuable piece. The rarity of these errors cannot be overstated, as they often occur in extremely limited numbers, sometimes only a handful of examples existing worldwide, and this scarcity is one of the key drivers of value in the coin collecting market, where demand can far exceed supply, especially among serious collectors who are willing to pay significant amounts to add such rare pieces to their collections. Another crucial factor that influences the value of a 1995 penny is its grade, determined by professional grading services that evaluate the coin's condition based on factors such as surface preservation, strike quality, luster, and overall eye appeal, and coins that achieve high grades, particularly those classified as mint state 65 or higher, are considered exceptional and can command much higher prices than their lower-grade counterparts. In some cases, a high-grade coin with a rare error can become the centerpiece of a collection, attracting attention from collectors and investors alike, and when such a coin is offered at auction, it can spark intense bidding wars that drive the price far beyond initial expectations, sometimes reaching astonishing figures that reflect not only the coin's intrinsic qualities, but also the passion and competition within the collecting community. The idea of a $12 million valuation, while extremely rare and not typical for a 1995 penny, represents the upper extremes of what is possible in the world of numismatics, where certain coins have indeed reached multi-million-dollar prices due to their unparalleled rarity and historical significance. And while the 1995 penny would need to possess an extraordinary combination of factors to approach such a value, the mere possibility adds to the intrigue and excitement surrounding this seemingly ordinary coin. Collectors also pay close attention to mint marks, as coins from different mints can have varying levels of rarity and desirability, and in 1995, pennies were primarily produced in Philadelphia, which does not use a mint mark, and Denver, which uses the D mint mark, and while both mints produce large quantities, certain error varieties may be more common in one mint than the other, making it important for collectors to carefully examine each coin's origin. Over time, the condition of a coin can change due to factors such as handling, environmental exposure, and storage methods, and this is why proper preservation is essential for maintaining a coin's value, with collectors often using protective holders, climate-controlled environments, and careful handling techniques to ensure that their coins remain in the best possible condition for years to come. Interestingly, many valuable coins are discovered not in specialized collections but in everyday circulation, hidden among ordinary coins, waiting to be noticed by someone with a keen eye and a bit of knowledge, and this is part of what makes coin collecting so accessible and exciting, as anyone, regardless of experience, has the chance to find something extraordinary in the most unexpected places. The 1995 penny also holds a special place in the broader context of U.S. coinage, as it represents a period of transition and modernization within the minting process, where advancements in technology were being implemented to improve efficiency and consistency, yet these same advancements also introduced new types of errors and variations that would later become highly sought after by collectors. As you continue to explore the depths of this coin story, it becomes clear that its value is not defined solely by its face value or even its metal content, but by a complex interplay of history, rarity, condition, and human fascination, all of which come together to create a market where even the smallest coin can hold immense significance. And as the journey goes deeper, uncovering more layers of detail about the 1995 1-cent coin, from its production quirks to its place in the collector's world, the line between ordinary and extraordinary begins to blur, revealing a world where knowledge truly is power, and where the smallest discovery can lead to the greatest reward. As the exploration of the 1995 1-cent coin moves further into the deeper layers of numismatics, What truly elevates this coin from a simple piece of currency to a subject of obsession for collectors is the psychology behind rarity and demand. Because in the world of coin collecting, value is not just about metal or age, it is about how many exist, how many people want them, and how difficult they are to find in a condition that meets the highest standards. And this is where the 1995 penny begins to reveal its hidden potential in ways that most people never even consider. Collectors often describe the hunt for rare coins as a mix of patience, knowledge, and luck, and the 1995 penny fits perfectly into this narrative because while billions were produced, only a tiny fraction possess the characteristics that make them desirable, and even fewer remain in pristine condition decades after their release, making high-grade examples increasingly scarce as time passes. Especially when you consider how many of these coins have been worn down through everyday use or lost entirely. One of the most exciting aspects of collecting the 1995 penny is the possibility of discovering transitional or experimental errors, coins that may have been struck during subtle shifts in minting procedures or testing phases. And while such coins are extremely rare and often undocumented, they represent the kind of discoveries that can redefine a coin's value overnight, turning an overlooked piece into a headline-making treasure that captures the attention of collectors around the world. There is also a strong emotional and historical connection tied to the design itself, as the image of Abraham Lincoln carries deep significance in American history, symbolizing unity, resilience, and leadership, and having his portrait on the coin adds a layer of cultural value that goes beyond monetary worth, making the penny not just a collectible, but a piece of national identity that has been passed through countless hands over generations. The reverse design featuring the Lincoln Memorial further enhances this sense of history, as it represents one of the most iconic landmarks in the United States, and the fact that the tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial is visible on the coin is a testament to the level of craftsmanship involved in its creation. A detail that many people overlook but which collectors deeply appreciate as a symbol of precision and artistry in coin design. As coins age, their surfaces begin to tell a story, with each scratch, mark, and tone reflecting a journey through time. And while wear generally reduces value, certain types of natural toning can actually enhance a coin's appeal, especially when it results in attractive colors that develop over years of exposure to different environments, creating a unique visual character that sets one coin apart from another. In the marketplace, the value of a 1995 penny can vary dramatically depending on its specific attributes, with common circulated examples remaining worth just 1 cent, while uncirculated coins in high grades might sell for a few dollars, and error coins, particularly those with strong double die features, reaching into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But the idea of a multi-million-dollar valuation enters the realm of extreme rarity, where a coin would need to possess an extraordinary combination of factors, possibly including a previously unknown error, perfect preservation, and significant historical interest. Auction houses play a major role in determining the market value of rare coins, as they bring together serious collectors and investors who are willing to compete for the most desirable pieces, and it is in these high-stakes environments that record-breaking sales occur, driven by a mix of passion, prestige, and the desire to own something truly unique. And while most 1995 pennies will never reach such heights, the possibility, however remote, adds an element of excitement that keeps collectors searching. Another important factor to consider is authentication, as the coin market, like any valuable market, can attract counterfeits and misidentified pieces, making it essential for collectors to rely on reputable grading services and expert verification to ensure that what they have is genuine, especially when dealing with high-value coins where even a small mistake can result in significant financial loss. Technology has also transformed the way collectors interact with coins, with online marketplaces, digital auctions, and community forums allowing enthusiasts from around the world to share information, trade coins, and stay updated on the latest discoveries, and this global connectivity has increased awareness of rare varieties, like the 1995 double-die penny, making it easier for collectors to identify and value their finds. Interestingly, many people who discover valuable coins do so completely by accident, perhaps while sorting through loose change or inheriting a collection from a relative, and these stories often capture public imagination, reinforcing the idea that treasure can be found in the most ordinary places, and inspiring others to take a closer look at the coins they might otherwise ignore. The long-term outlook for coins, like the 1995 penny, depends on several factors, including collector interest, economic conditions, and the availability of high-quality specimens, and while trends can fluctuate, rare coins have historically shown strong resilience as collectibles, often maintaining or increasing their value over time due to their limited supply and enduring appeal. As the narrative continues, it becomes clear that the 1995 1-cent coin is not just about what it is today, but what it represents in the broader story of currency, history, and human curiosity, a small object that carries within it the potential for discovery, the thrill of the hunt, and the possibility, however slim, of uncovering something truly extraordinary. And with every detail uncovered, every variation studied, and every coin examined, the journey into the world of the 1995 penny becomes more immersive, revealing a universe where even the smallest piece of metal can hold secrets worth millions, waiting patiently for the right person to recognize its true value. As we reach the final chapter of this deep dive into the 1995 1-cent coin, everything comes together into a clearer picture of why this small, ordinary-looking piece of currency continues to fascinate collectors, investors, and treasure hunters across the world, because at its core, this coin represents something much bigger than just metal value or face denomination. It represents possibility. The idea that something overlooked can suddenly become something extraordinary if the right conditions are met, and the right eyes discover it. When people hear claims about a 1995 penny being worth millions, even figures as high as $12 million, it naturally sounds unbelievable, and in most real-world cases, a standard 1995 cent in circulation will never come anywhere close to that amount. But what fuels such discussions is not ordinary coins, it is the extreme-edge cases of numismatics, where hypothetical combinations of rarity, perfect condition, dramatic mint errors, and historical uniqueness come together in theory to create values that reach into the highest tiers of collectible imagination. To understand this properly, you have to separate three things: common circulation coins, collectible error coins, and theoretical, perfect storm specimens that may not even be publicly documented. The everyday 1995 penny you receive in change is worth exactly 1 cent. A clean uncirculated version might bring a small premium. A confirmed double-die obverse or noticeable mint error might reach into the hundreds, or even low thousands depending on grade and demand. But beyond that, when people mention multi-million-dollar figures, they are usually referring to extreme rarity scenarios that combine multiple high-value attributes at once, such as a major unrecorded mint error paired with flawless preservation and overwhelming collector demand. The reason these discussions persist is because the coin-collecting world has seen similar miracles before. Coins that were once considered ordinary have, under the right circumstances, become legendary auction pieces. A single discovery of a unique minting mistake or previously unknown variety can completely reshape a coin's perceived value overnight, and that possibility is what keeps collectors constantly searching through rolls of coins even today, hoping that the next major discovery is sitting quietly in their hands. The 1995 penny also benefits from timing in numismatic history. It sits in a modern era where billions were produced, which actually makes rare errors even more significant because they stand out against such massive production numbers. When something rare appears in a sea of billions, its contrast becomes even more powerful in the eyes of collectors. That is why varieties like double dies, off-center strikes, and experimental strikes from this period continue to attract attention, even decades after their release. Another important aspect is grading, which can completely transform perception. A coin that looks ordinary to the naked eye might become highly valuable when professionally graded in mint condition with strong details and no signs of circulation. Grading services assign numerical values that act as a universal language for collectors, and the difference between a mid-grade coin and a near-perfect specimen can sometimes mean the difference between a few dollars and thousands of dollars in market value. The emotional side of this story is just as important as the technical side. Collectors are not only chasing profit, they are chasing discovery. The excitement of examining a penny under a magnifying glass, spotting something unusual in the lettering, or noticing a subtle shift in design alignment is what fuels the entire hobby. It is a form of modern treasure hunting that requires no map, only patience and knowledge. And this is where the 1995 1-cent coin truly becomes interesting, because it represents accessibility. Unlike ancient coins locked in museums or rare gold pieces hidden in elite collections, this coin is still out there in circulation, still passing through hands, still sitting in jars and drawers across homes. That means anyone, anywhere, can theoretically find something valuable without needing to be an expert collector from the start. Even though the idea of a $12 million valuation is not grounded in any widely verified sale of a 1995 penny, it symbolizes the extreme upper imagination of what collectors sometimes dream about, the idea that the perfect coin, with a perfect error, in the perfect condition, could one day become something truly historic in value. And while reality usually stays far below that extreme, the possibility itself keeps the story alive. In the end, the 1995 1-cent coin is not just about money, it is about attention to detail, curiosity, and the hidden value in everyday objects. It teaches a simple but powerful lesson: value is not always obvious at first glance. Sometimes it is hidden in tiny misalignments, subtle doubling, or rare production mistakes that only reveal themselves when someone takes the time to look closely. So the next time you hold a penny in your hand, especially one from 1995, it is worth remembering that while most will remain ordinary, a few might carry secrets worth far more than their face value, and in the world of coin collecting, that possibility is what turns simple change into a lifelong obsession, and ordinary metal into a story of discovery that never truly ends. And that is the real power of the 1995 1-cent coin, not the myth of guaranteed millions, but the enduring chance that something small, overlooked, and ordinary might still surprise the world when someone finally takes a closer look.